Crystal Palace redefined the race for the title winners for this season. And they did the unthinkable by snatching 2 goals from Manchester City at the Etihad. This
not an easy
was
task.
not an easy task.
Yeah.
And that opened the door. I mean, to make the other boys feel comfortable in the race for the top 4, because right now it's 34 points for City, Arsenal 39, Liverpool 38, Aston Villa, that I think will win the league, 38 as well. Welcome to the show, Big Shaq. What do you make of Crystal Palace 2 goals and 1 point, and making City to go 5 games with just a win?
First of all, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. What do I make of Crystal Palace snatching those 2 points?
Yeah.
I mean, when I look at these games, I don't think of anything in particular about the team. All I think about is like how competitive this season is. It's not much of a difference between, even if you look at the top 6, they're very close. Someone can bounce back, but Crystal Palace, I think the only thing that comes to my mind is the threat of being relegated is so powerful that it can give you the motivation to beat the top teams.
That's right.
And that
right.
we have seen last year too. Arsenal had to deal with that last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's all what I can say for Crystal Palace. And other than that, I don't think their team is any extraordinary. I mean, you can see Everton had four straight
wins, yeah.
4 wins,
Four
and
straight
it's not an easy thing to do. So I think it's just Manchester City is struggling.
Yes, yeah. I think it's a hangover from last season, regardless. What they overachieved by the standard of Manchester City's history, not the Pep Guardiola era, but Manchester City's history in total, they have overachieved. They have exceeded expectations. No one would believe if you go back 10, 15 years ago, you wouldn't believe that Manchester City would be the club that we know them today, even surpassing Manchester United in terms of winning the Premier League title in the past 7 years, or in the past 10 years to be precise. But I think they are suffering from that hangover. And again, with all the players that they have right now, some have gone, some have come in, but I think those that have come in have not met up with the standard of those that have left.
I agree with that.
Not all of them.
Especially one player in particular. What's that guy on the right back? Gaviador. I think he's making a lot of mistakes. He's losing a lot of balls. His passes are not accurate as other players.
Yeah, it's Laporte. I was listening to the post-match analysis on Sky Sports, and they were saying that Gaviador is not up to the standard or level of Laporte when he was there.
Yes.
Because he has not been able to live up to that expectation. This is his first season, obviously. But again, I think there's a lot of pressure that comes with replacing a certain type of player and also playing for a club like Manchester City, which makes the race for the title very interesting. Because if we look at the way it is now, let's not underline, you rightly mentioned Crystal Palace's, they have that view that there is a threat for relegation, right? And the difference between them is not that much when it comes to games won and games lost. It's just that perhaps they had one more games more than these other bottom 3 teams, but when it comes to the form, the last 5 games, there's not much of a difference. Everton is the only difference maker. In that position or below the 14th position on the league, because that's they were doctored 10 points. So imagine add the 10 points Everton had before to the 16 they have now, they will be upright there on ninth or even
26, right?
10th
Yeah.
above Chelsea. But anyway,
With Brighton. Yeah.
yeah. So, but again, it comes down to Crystal Palace playing with that mindset of like, if we don't work hard to get points from these big boys, we will be in trouble. But again, I think that City is overwhelmed. City is fatigued. City, I mean, from last season, not because everyone started fresh this season. But again, when you see the accomplishment from last season, how do the team stay hungry? To continue performing
Yeah.
week in, week out, and to strive. I know they're going to the FIFA Club World Cup. Definitely they'll want to win that because, to add to their cabinets, right? But
It's just the entire tournament happening in this weekend?
yeah, it started. Some games have been played. So the Champions League winners go straight into the semi-finals.
Right.
So they are playing. I think they are playing Urawa Reds from Japan,
Okay.
and Al Ahly is playing Fluminense. So the Champions League and Copa Libertadores, which is the South American version of the Champions League, they go straight to the semi-finals. The other confederations or from other continents will have to go through playoffs among themselves before they play these two guys in the semi-finals. Right. So that's pretty much what I think City wants to do, and that's why maybe Haaland did not play that game because they are going to Saudi Arabia for this tournament this week. I think they're playing the semi-finals on Tuesday or Wednesday, any of those days. But yeah, coming back to the Premier League, that's not an excuse for City to have, in the last 5 games, they have drawn 3, lost 1, and won 1.
They've only won one game.
Yes,
which is not very likely.
Yeah, it's not likely. I mean, it's not what we know of City. And again, I think it's just that fatigue, and I think that they will not win the league. I remember Guardiola saying, if you ask him if they'll win the league, he will say he will win the league with this group of players he has. But I think they will not win the league. This league will be up for grabs for the first 3 teams on the table: Arsenal, Liverpool, and Aston Villa. Although we will want to discredit Aston Villa, but I think they're grinding out results and they're putting all their best effort. I think Liverpool will win the league. That's what I think. And many people undermine Liverpool at this point, but we will get to that anyway. But that's all about what I think about City in their performances so far. But let's look at the game between Arsenal and Brighton today. Brighton has not been doing well in the past 5 games. I mean, their form has been up, down, up, this way, straight, with a tie, and then down because they lost to Arsenal. Yeah. But I thought they would have given Arsenal something to think about in today's game, but they ended up they spent the whole game defending.
Yeah, no, Arsenal is not the same as it was last year. They're not very threatening, and they struggle a lot, especially finishing. They can't bring the ball all the way to the final third, and then they get stuck, and then that's the same kind of situation. And I think players have, especially Odegaard, he's not the same. He's taking too long. He's not scoring like that. He's struggling. There was someone saying that in order to Arsenal to win the league, everyone has to score more than 10 goals, like Martinelli, Jesus, Saka. Odegaard,
when coming from the middle. Yeah, I mean that could be a big ask, but again, if you want to win the league,
otherwise they're gonna struggle. Yeah, which we can see. I mean, today the second goal came out of nowhere. But Arsenal was struggling, and they are struggling the entire season.
But again, if you look at, I mean, they've been scoring goals. If Man City is the only team that has scored more goals than any other any other team in the top four. However, they have also considered 20 goals, which makes it just plus 20 in advance, advantage of goal difference. Same like Arsenal, 35 goals scored, 15 conceded, 20. So there's not much of a difference between all of them. Just Villa is the only difference in terms of goals scored and goals conceded.
Yeah.
But again, I think, yes, you mentioned that Arsenal is struggling. They're not like that. When they played last season, there was something terrifying about them. You know that
it
they
was
were going
different.
to score goals. You know, they were going to, Odegaard, Martinelli, Jesus, Saka.
Yeah.
They
And Xhaka, who left.
yeah,
I
and
think
Xhaka
he
was
was.
and Xhaka that left.
Yeah.
Nketiah would come in and do one or two things here and there, But I think yes, they are struggling. They are not.
Struggling, or maybe other teams have gotten really good. I think
Yes.
the other teams
Yes.
have gotten really good
Yes.
too. Because
Yes.
last season, World Cup was in there,
Yeah.
and a lot of teams did
Yes.
struggle.
That's right. That's right. I think yes. Because again, I believe once the new season starts, everyone starts on a clean slate,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So people will look at what they did last season, how they could improve. When they play the team like Arsenal from last season, they're like, okay, this happened last season. Let's try that this
play
does not
in a
happen
way,
again
yeah,
this
yeah.
season. And then they try to build on that. And that's why Arsenal is finding it hard to break teams down and to win games like they did last season. And I think, yeah, it's not just because of them, but also that other teams have really gotten better.
Yeah, top 10, all of the teams have gone really good. West Ham,
I
Brighton.
don't talk about it. There's
Chelsea.
one that's not done really good. They have not done anything well so far. They are so bad. But anyway.
But yeah, Tottenham is also, you have to mention that they've changed so much compared to last season.
Yes.
Yeah. They were
Yes.
not in the top 6 last season.
No, that's why they are not in Europe.
Yeah,
they're not anywhere in Europe.
So they have changed a lot.
They have really done a very
Yeah.
very good job changing their manager. Manager coming with new ideas. And they are playing to their manager's new ideas, because there's two different things to change a manager, and that the manager you bring in, the players that are there, and the players that he brings in play to the ideas of the manager. They stick with whatever the manager tells them to do. I don't think Ange Postecoglou is the talking type a lot. If you see him always on the sidelines, he's just quietly there observing. But I think the boys are getting the message, and they're playing how he wants them to play.
Yeah.
Even if they are losing,
Yeah.
they still stick to it.
True,
Because
true,
some
true.
people, when they are losing, they get agitated, they could be nervous, and they start doing things differently. And you see players trying to, not to maintain tactical discipline. But I think Spurs are doing that.
But one thing you have to mention, that if Tottenham was playing a European competition, they would have struggled.
Yeah, they would.
Because that you can see what happened to Newcastle. In Champions League,
Tottenham have a better experience than Newcastle in Champions League.
Yeah, Newcastle is new to that. Yeah.
Tottenham, I mean, Newcastle, it's been a while. I can't remember the last time they were in the Champions League. It's been a very, very long time that they were in the Champions League.
And Postecoglou has also
Champions Celtic. He's been in Champions League, and he has an experience with that. But again, back to Arsenal. Arsenal is doing okay. Their next game will be against Liverpool. That will be a tough test.
game, yeah.
The winners of that, probably that could be the title decider.
That is true, though.
That could be the
if
title
Liverpool
decider.
goes on top, then they might run it away.
I mean, it depends, right, who you beat to go on top.
Yeah.
Because the last time Liverpool were on top this past week, before this weekend,
Yeah.
right? So they lost, they tied with Man United, which we'll talk about. But Arsenal won, beat Brighton, and then with 1 point they're just on top. So we might be seeing anyone who goes 3 points high, further away, and then starts pulling away, perhaps. But this season is quite tricky, as you mentioned. The teams are, we might not know who will win this title until May, if they all continue playing this way.
Yeah, if it goes like that, it's going to be really hard to predict until maybe last week.
That's right.
It looks like it so far. I can think Manchester City can also come back.
Yeah, City can always come back, but
because they have
Kevin De Bruyne has to be back first.
for that. Yes.
And when he's back, he has to be fit. He has to be fit
Yeah.
enough to be able to pull the strings what he used to do for them before he got injured.
And you have to also understand he's not the same age as
Exactly, age is also catching up, right?
he does catch up.
Yeah, but again, let's look at. So we talked about City here and Arsenal. The game of the weekend, Manchester United playing Liverpool at Anfield, 0-0. Liverpool had 36 shots and 8 on target. Last time out, they had 8 on target and scored 7 goals
Yeah.
in March.
Okay, let me start saying that I think Manchester United was a better side today.
Yeah?
Personally, because they had 2 chances and they were very close to scoring.
Okay.
If
Does that make them a better team?
if that worked out, it was exactly it would have been exactly worked out how he thought, because that's how Chelsea lost one of the games against Brentford.
Yeah.
Brentford just defended, and when they got chance, because I remember their attack was really lethal.
Yeah.
Manchester United attack, they did 2 attacks, and they were really, really dangerous.
Yeah.
Passing was accurate, and spacing was really accurate. So it would have been a really different story if Manchester United win with one
That's God.
have scored, and then everyone would be like saying, "Oh, Liverpool was so bad."
But don't you think that with even United scoring, that it would trigger Liverpool to up their game?
No, Liverpool had a really good game. It's just they couldn't. I think Manchester United defended really, really well. I was looking at the Data Zone channel. Have you ever watched the Data Zone game?
Yeah.
And if you kept the eye on the player position, they were man marking was so good, and they were always in shape, like 4-4-2. I know it was actually 4-2-4, and they were not playing too far, so they were like really, really compact, and their man marking was immaculate. Like they didn't make any mistake.
I think that yeah.
I think it's also because they had younger players and different players. Bruno especially was not in the game, and I think he changes the entire mindset with his mentality. I think he tries to control the game.
I mean, if United had scored, I think Liverpool would score. I don't think Liverpool. So? I think Liverpool would score.
Liverpool had so many.
They had so many chances.
I think.
But they did not create a clear cut.
You know who was the most poorest player from Liverpool side? It was Musala. His touches were so bad. Passes were so bad. Everything was so bad. Nothing was accurate. He was, I don't know, what was he doing?
I mean,
I think his age is catching up to him too.
It's a team sport. Yeah, he's not getting any younger, right? And I'm sure he'll be playing with anticipation for the African Cup of Nations coming up in January.
Hasn't he? No, he didn't win that last one.
No, he didn't win the African Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I went to.
No, the last tournament was, remember?
No, it was I think it was Senegal that won the last.
Yeah,
one.
His teammate.
Yeah, Sadio Mane.
Yeah, the laser thing. Remember that?
Yeah. but again,
coming
back to this game, right? I think Manchester, the two Manchester teams, they're not having a very good season so far. Mm-hmm. So far, they're not having a very good season. But I think that if United had scored, it will be a different game. That's what I think, because I just
Liverpool would have pressed more.
Liverpool would have done more.
They did have pressed more.
That's what I think.
They have so many touches in the opposition
I know. That's
block.
what I think. They will not. Again, they will not want to lose at home, knowing that they are close to the top of the table, or they were on the top of the table prior to the start of this weekend's games.
Yeah.
So if they concede a goal, they would step up pressure.
Based on how Liverpool has done so far, every time they concede a goal, they step up their game. I know.
That's what I'm basing this very argument on.
Yeah.
But I think Yeah, I think they were not really up to their standard. Again, Liverpool has not been that Liverpool that we know. That's terrifying
No,
Liverpool
no,
team and all
their
of that.
counter attack is not the same.
And that is why I think no one is really talking about them, as title contenders. But it's okay for them because it takes off the pressure from the players, and it puts it on Arsenal, puts it on Manchester City. No one will ever consider Aston Villa, and then something will just happen, right? Because that's how it happened with Leicester back.
I think as of right now, we have to start. They might win the league. The way they're playing.
I mean, I think they will be there. Maybe their aim will maybe to play Champions League. That would be their aim,
right?
Because they played. I think they played there. They couldn't make it past the playoff stages for the. Are they in the Conference League? I think they're.
Yes.
I think they're in the UEFA Conference League.
Yeah, but they couldn't finish the qualifiers.
I think they're in the Conference League. I can't remember. However, whichever way though, but I just think that they are just the black horse, or the dark horse, as they say, in this race. It's so tight. It's too open. It's very, very open. So anything can happen. But that is why we love the Premier League. That is really why we love it. From Spurs all the way to the first position, anything can happen there. Maybe Spurs might just be.
I don't think it was like this last season.
No, it was not.
At this point in last season,
Arsenal were pulling away this time.
They
were
nine,
actually outright leaders of the Premier League.
Yes. It was looking like they were gonna win.
Yes, until they capitulated
until the last
February.
3 games, 3-4 games.
Yeah, February, March.
When
it starts getting to March, then you see, the teams have reached their peak and they start going down.
Arsenal is less likely based on one more reason, because they're playing Champions League.
Yeah.
If they end up playing, maybe go past round of 16, it's going to add more pressure.
Yes.
Because then you want to win Champions League, or you ideally want to, but it's really
I don't
hard.
know if they have the depth.
No.
To play both.
You know what? They're playing better in Champions League though.
They played well in Champions League. Again, the group that they were in, it was not that of a top group. PSV Eindhoven loans in from France, and then Sevilla. Sevilla ended up in the bottom of the group, and but
the Newcastle group was really tight.
Yeah, if they were in Newcastle's group, that would be like Champions League finals or semi-finals,
right.
Just like semi-finals every match day.
Yeah.
Imagine Arsenal, PSG, Milan, and Borussia Dortmund in one group.
Yeah. But coming back to Arsenal, also Liverpool game, what were we talking about?
I mean, Liverpool's approach to the game was to win the game. Man United's approach to the game was not to lose.
Not to lose. They were not trying to win.
They were not trying to win.
Yeah.
They were not trying to win.
They were just trying to protect the reputation from last season.
And also because of their lackluster performance last time they played, where they lost in their last game, right? And that was against Bournemouth at home.
Yeah.
So, and then did not make it through the Champions League, not even Europa League qualification. So they're just completely out of Europe. So I think they found motivation.
Well, his job is on the line too.
Yeah.
There were rumors that he might have gotten sacked today if they lost bad. So I mean, he was putting in the effort. I can appreciate that again,
I think the players on the pitch did the job. Again, we can always call the manager, right? But if the players on the pitch are not doing their job,
the players were putting in a lot of effort.
They were putting
it was not the same as
all the boys, they played.
Yeah,
they put in a good shift.
Luke Shaw was really good.
Yeah,
Varane was good.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, this was the first time they ever played together, Varane and Johnny Evans. They never played together in any match before, but they are full of experience.
Yes.
Johnny Evans has been in a Man United winning Premier League winning team before.
Right. Yeah. He's playing for
Varane has
Madrid.
been from Madrid, Champions League,
Yes.
La Liga, and all
Yeah.
of those titles. So it's good to have that experience. Maybe they might be the ones who continue playing for Man United. Their next game is against West Ham, so we'll see how that goes. But back again to this game today, I think it was a good 0-0 game for a 0-0 game.
Yeah.
Although we would always want to see goals in football matches of this caliber, but I think it was a good 0-0 game, and hopefully it will steer Man United to keep doing something. But you never know what they will get against West Ham, because West Ham is a more rough, strong,
Yeah.
physically
strong.
team.
Play dirty
compared
kind of a team, yeah.
They can sit back and hit you on a very good counter attack.
Yeah.
So if they do it well against Man United, you never know what could happen. As Arsenal is playing Liverpool, so that will be a very good.
Are they playing? Where are they playing?
They are playing at Anfield. This is going to be noisome for Arsenal. They will have to find out a way to beat these guys. If not, we're just about to give Liverpool, Liverpool getting closer to the league title. But anyway, that time will come. What happens between Liverpool and Arsenal? I don't think Arsenal have been in a very in a location like in a venue like Anfield. Anfield is a different atmosphere when you play, especially when there's something at stake.
Yeah.
Like today,
Yeah.
Man United weathered the storm, they stayed strong, and were able to get a point. I don't know how Arsenal would do that with David Raya in goal. I don't know how they will be able to do that, but we'll see. That's why we love the game. We're going to see what's going to happen. We can always predict, but at the end of the day, players will come in with a different mindset, different feeling, different emotional situation.
Yeah. And it's also on 24th of December.
It's on the 23rd. So the
It's
plan is
24th.
23rd and the 23rd.
23rd. Okay.
23rd, 12:30 kickoff time here in Eastern time, which is 5:30 p.m. UK time. So we will see how that will go. What do you think will happen in that game? Arsenal, Liverpool, who wins? I'll go for Liverpool.
It's a Liverpool home, so Liverpool is more likely to win.
Yeah, I'll go for Liverpool.
I think it's going to be a very close game.
It will be 0-0. It will be a tie.
Sorry, what?
Worst case scenario.
Worst case.
It will be a tie. I don't
Right.
see Liverpool losing at Anfield.
Yeah.
Not with this situation right now.
No, Liverpool is strong right now. They have a good team.
Yeah.
There's not just the only thing I can think of the loose parts of Liverpool. Like the loosest part is that impacts most of their games is Nunez. He just I don't know what kind of game football he's playing.
Yeah.
Liverpool was the most lethal when they had Sadio Mane and Salah. Nobody could stop them.
With Firmino.
Which they could just read their mind so good.
They know where they were going to and what they were trying to achieve, but I don't know what's going on.
Nunez is not the same.
It's.
I mean, he has had so many. Even today, he had so many good chances. He just.
But there were no clear-cut chances.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about that, and the rest had a very good. I'm not going to talk about Chelsea. Chelsea is imploding at the moment.
Chelsea won.
Yes.
Do you know that?
Yeah, but it was a terrible first half that they played against Sheffield United.
Yeah. It was a 0-0 first half.
It was 0-0 first
There was
half,
nothing
yes.
much.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there to talk about that club at the moment.
Actually, Sheffield United had a few chances in the first half.
I can't imagine if Sheffield United scored first.
And then we're really
hard
hard
to play all
to
11 behind.
Yes.
They would play all 11 behind. Again,
Yeah.
Chelsea had all the possession and all of that, but it doesn't make anything if you're not creating chances. And
Are
scoring.
these the three teams that came out of championship this year?
Yes.
So they're all at the bottom.
Yes, they're all on the bottom. One team I would love us to touch and as we round up this is Everton. Everton is on the same form with Arsenal.
And they're playing Tottenham and City next.
Bournemouth is the most informed team when it comes to 5 games straight. Actually, Bournemouth and Villa.
Crazy.
Bournemouth and Villa are the only two teams that have the best form in the Premier League at the moment, if we judge by 5 games played or the last 5 games. Bournemouth's got 4 wins and a draw. They were losing at Nottingham Forest and they came back to win that game.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable.
True.
And then, but my surprising team is Everton. 10 points deducted. And you would do that last season, you just relegate Everton.
Yeah.
But this season, they have a manager who the players believe in what he's trying to achieve with them. Because you remember, the managers that had been before Sean Dyche,
Was it Lampard?
Ancelotti was there, you wouldn't
Ancelotti
believe
was
that,
there. Yeah.
you know, and the previous managers there,
Everton, I think, does have money.
they're building a new stadium.
Yeah, they're also
They're building a brand new stadium.
Yeah.
But that tells me they're playing Spurs next
And City after that.
and City after that. But they have this confidence that I think deducting the 10 points from them
it does. It does.
motivated them like, no, we can be relegated.
Yeah, or
We can be
especially in the
relegated.
locker room when you are starting having discussions about
Among yourselves
Yeah,
as players and teammates. Now, I think I'm impressed with the way they play.
Yes.
You know, just that I've not been convinced enough to get them on my fantasy team. But they have been very good. Their goalkeeper, England's #1 in Everton. You would be thinking England's #1 should be in Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, City, Tottenham, even maybe
Yeah.
Chelsea. But he's in Everton.
Yeah,
And
no English keeper is even. When Newcastle was English though.
Yeah.
Nick Pope.
is
He got
English.
injured, right?
Yeah, but again, you just see that I like the way they have approached that, and they're working hard to keep themselves afloat, which you will hardly find from any other team. If you do that to a club, a big club, it might be hard for them to recover.
Yeah.
And guess what will be the excuse?
What?
Oh, we were just deducted 10 points.
True.
You know, and we couldn't. We tried. They were not trying anything, but Everton has really stepped up. But anyway, they will have a stern test against Tottenham.
Everton still have to go for a very long path. It's not finished.
Definitely.
So they're not that far. They're above from bottom 3, but still.
No, but they are closer to the middle of the table than they are.
That's the thing where they're so
bottom 3.
tight this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, from Fulham down, actually from Chelsea down to Everton, there's not much.
Actually,
It's just 7
the
points.
difference between Chelsea and Everton is less when you compare the difference between Brighton to Arsenal.
Yeah. It's
More competitive bottom of the table.
It's a very long journey, especially for my team Chelsea, trying to find a European spot next season. They will have to work hard for that,
Yeah.
and they will be battling it out with Wolves, who lost today but already have 19 points. So we will see how that goes. Anyway, any last thoughts for this weekend before we wrap this up?
No.
Whether it's relegation, whether it's top of the table contests.
I would like to be. I'm interested in Aston Villa's game now. Let's see what happens. Although it's Sheffield, it's not much likely they're gonna do anything against Villa. But,
You know one thing about Aston Villa, if you like it rough, they'll give it to you rough.
yeah,
They have a crazy goalkeeper. They have stubborn players.
they have crazy goalkeeper. You have to give that, and it's just it brings a different type of energy in the team.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that ego. No, I wouldn't say ego. It's more like bullying kind of nature he
He doesn't like
has.
to be intimidated.
Yes.
Because he knows that these big boys could.
And he has won the World Cup
Yeah.
with the same. Like, there's some
Mentality,
advantages to having
yeah.
that kind of mindset.
Yeah.
So
I do tell the goalkeepers that I have coached, and I say, you guys need to be the craziest on the pitch.
yeah.
You don't like picking goals. You have to be angry.
When
you
you're
have
an
to-
equal team, the crazy part makes you win the game.
Yes, exactly. but yeah, that's true. I'm interested in their games. You know, they are playing well. I think that will be the game changer to this top 4 fight to finish who wins the league. And I believe, just in conclusion, I believe that the Premier League winner for this season is right there in the top 4. Anything below it, they're not going to be in that race. Not Spurs. Not, I mean, I know Spurs is 1 point just below City, but I don't see them as a title contender. Why I still consider City as title contenders is because they are past,
Yeah, the
champions, and they
experience and
have won
everything.
it,
Done
just
it.
2 seasons
It's
straight
easier.
and all of that.
Yeah.
But they are out of it, in my opinion. I think they're out of it, considering all the other things that they will have to still play for. Champions League, the FA Cup. I think they're already out of the Carabao Cup. So we will see how that goes, but the title winner for this season is there in the top 4. For the bottom 3, I think both 3 will go down. I think 3 of them will go down. So anyway, that's all for us from here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Wherever you are watching from, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you're new to it. Have a pleasant week ahead.
Yeah. Talk to you next time.
Cheers.